What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Let's Build the USS Enterprise A 2.0 Season 1 Episode 6. I'm Zero Elite, and I just want to thank you very much for tuning in today's episode. And if you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, helping me support the channel. I can't thank you guys enough for that. Today we got a little bit of a longer one, 22-minute episode. We're going to be picking up right where we left off, so let's just go ahead, kick back, relax. We're going to dive right into this thing, get rocking and rolling here. So our focus today is going to be trying to get our first pass at the pylons completed, and then we're going to compare that to everything that we have. Ultimately, what we're going to have to do is actually stretch back our lower hull, and also we're going to have to make some slight tweaks to the neck. So all I did there, I just added one more row going up. That's looking pretty good. You can see I'm not counting that. I brought it all the way back and I deleted 6. Let's see how that looks. Going with a pattern of 6, that could work out. I think I'm going to try maybe 8. 8 might work out just a little bit better. Because really what I'm trying to do, I want to have a little bit of a cut at the top. So we're blending in the top piece that connects to our pylon from our nacelles, and then eventually that will blend into the piece that connects to the lower hull. That very last row there, I only went back 7, so we just had one block lip. Those last 2 rows ended up stretching out to what we had just above it, and I want to try to maybe go with a pattern of 2 just to see how it would look. That doesn't look bad, but we really need to start progressing backwards at this point. And this piece right here, I feel like it needs to come more forward. Now what we can do is maybe just going with a cut of 1, bringing that all the way in, and then in the back we can start transitioning, which it looks like that's exactly what we did. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just want to count that, double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 apart. You can see out of my builder lines, just double check, make sure everything is matching up. So I'm going to try a pattern of 2, going out and up with the cut. That's looking pretty good. We're just going to let this play out and keep that going. So we're analyzing at this point is that how that transition point looks, but also it doesn't look bad, but the blending on there we're going to have some issues with. Really what we need to do is go off, we need to decide where our placement's going to be, and that's what I've done right here. So I've basically decided that I'm going to go off of the very inward part of the cut that we have here, and I'm going to bring that going all the way back. I'm going to try to follow this template that I just made, going by 2. So we're not doing anything super fancy, we're just bringing this back. But we will come back, and the row that we just added with the pattern of 2, that will eventually get deleted, and we'll just have this underneath it, but the pattern of 2 will remain, if that makes sense. That's not looking too bad. Let's let that, we're going to fill all that in. I'm going to do that on the left and right side. Just like I was saying, then we're going to come back and delete the row directly above it. That looks pretty good. So now we go right back into analyze mode. What I'm doing, I'm comparing what I have here with my concept art. I'm trying to decide if everything matches up. What we have here doesn't look bad, but it needs a little bit of work. This area here needs to be addressed. I also don't know if we have enough length here on the back. Kind of feels like it's a little bit stubby back there. I don't know. And then also the neck. The neck needs a little bit of something too. Because in my concept art, I pretty much have the neck going all the way down, where it really doesn't blend in with the shuttle bay all the way until it gets to the shuttle bay entrance. But continuing this pattern down, we can see how that's going to play out. And that's not going to work. Because you can see that it transitions down way before we're even going to be there. Because basically with what this is right now, that our shuttle bay is going to be all the way back here, and we need it. The shuttle bay blends in to the back of these pylons on this particular Enterprise. So what we have here, I've gone in a pattern of 4. So right off of original line, as you can see, I just stretched that out to 4. And I brought all the way back. So our original backbone for our neck, that's going to go away. And that blue builder line, that will become the new template for our neck, giving us a good idea of what we need to do. But now that we have that in pattern of 4, we need to stretch out our back end a little bit. Because this is all going to tie into each other. One of the really hard parts with this specific build will be getting everything to match up. Because you look at my concept art, looking at it from the side, it all kind of matches up with one another. The angle of the neck matches the angle of the back end of the pylons. So it's really important that we nail all of that. Because if we make too many mistakes, it's not going to blend in correctly. And you can see we're going with a pattern of 4. We're going to see how that looks. This is all about using the correct number for your cut line as we go backwards. And I haven't explained it too much, but basically when you go with a longer number as opposed to a shorter number, the longer number gives you much more of an elongated cut line as opposed to a shorter one. So we want that. We want that more stretched out look on the back end. And it's going to serve 2 purposes. One, it's going to help us to stretch out the back end of the neck just a little bit. But also, it's going to help us to start to blend everything in together where I was talking about. How the angle of the back of this part of the pylon matches up with the angle of the neck. So that's why we're shifting and we're doing it in a pattern of 4. We're going to do the same thing on the very bottom row here. Bring it back to a row of extra on 4. Yeah, so that row would be 4. That looks good. So now I see how far back more we need to take this. And you know what? We weren't really that far off. We really weren't. But hopefully you guys can start to see, and I made a mistake, the left side and the right side is not matching up there. We're going to have to fix that. But you can start to see just how I'm able to maneuver around this, making these changes. Um, and it's pivotal. It's pivotal to go off of um, what you have, because looking at it and directly looking at the issue in front of you, it's like, okay, this is the problem. What do we need to do to fix it? And in order to fix it here, I looked at my reference material and I saw that the pylons, the back end of the pylons, were not matching up with the neck in comparison to my concept art. So it let me know that, okay, at this point, I need to make some adjustments. And you start looking for those key things to transition over, because these are the things that are going to help your build come out that much better and that much more accurate. This is exactly why my builds come out as accurate as they are, because I take the time to proportion these things out. And you have to compare all that line work together if you want to have an accurate build. There's just no way to get around that. Trust me, I've tried. I've spent years figuring out the best way to build these things out, and this is what I've come up with, you know. But again, you know, this is nothing that's set in stone. Do what makes you happy. If you feel that whatever I'm doing here isn't quite jiving for you, you can make whatever changes you feel you need to make. But all things considered, we've got a pretty good template here. We do have to correct this problem here that we have in the front with the pylons, but minor spoiler, essentially what will happen in order to fix this, our template is already here, but basically what we need to do is that we're going to take the very inner row here that's actually blending in with the back. This is what will ultimately become the full pylon. These other two rows will end up being gone, and we're just going to stretch out this back row here to the same angle. That's eventually what we'll do. But don't make that change until I jump into that, just to make sure that we're both making the same changes if you're wanting to match up with what I have. So now we're going to do a line going straight across. So now we need to start figuring out the shuttle bay area. This was another change that I had made. I didn't even talk too much about it in my tour episode. I just honestly forgot to. I need to make a point of actually writing down all my talking points so I don't forget anything as I'm doing these videos. But the shuttle bay was something that I did want to talk about, because that was another area that I veered away from. And I ended up changing and trying to make it look a little bit closer to the original Constitution class, but still a Constitution class refit, but still have it blending into the back end, how it ended up being on the Kelvin timeline Enterprise A. I just think that what they had originally that was shown in the movie, the shuttle bay feels more like an afterthought. I don't particularly care for how it's blended together back there. I think that they could have done a much better job at it, but they didn't really take the time to build it out, because you don't really see it in the movie. Like, it's there for like a split second, and it's not really a sharp image. So I can understand maybe why they didn't spend a lot of time on that, because they didn't have to. But for me, I just, there was one of the things I did not like with the Kelvin timeline Enterprise A. So I want to make sure that my shuttle bay is going to be a little bit closer to the original, have a little bit more of that clamshell feel, and it's just such an iconic look too, to be honest with you. I don't know why you would want to veer away from that too much, but you know, to each his own. This is just these are just my thoughts, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to talk a little bit more about my thoughts and my decision making and why I make the changes that I make, because these are all things that I think about when I'm building out these ships. And I'm trying to help you guys out. and teach you my process the best way that I can. And the only way I know how to do that is just explaining everything that I do. So hopefully this is helping some people out. Um, Now everything going past this, we're going to get rid of that. Oh, I need to fix that one row there, though. So I went back with pattern to 6, and we're going N1 with a cut, and we're going to delete everything after that. I still can't believe how far along we are, and we're only in episode 6. It's kind of crazy. Don't get me wrong, still a lot of work for me to do. Still a ton of work for me to do, and figuring out the best course of action to take on these tutorials. How can I make it better for you guys? If you guys think of anything that you see me doing that I can do a little bit better, let me know in the comments section. Definitely love hearing from everybody. I'm just going to say it, as long as you're not a jerk about it. I love constructive criticism. The only time I don't really that I will not listen to a thing you have to say is that if you come off really douchey about it. Because unfortunately that's how a lot of people are on the internet, and I hate it because and I sound so old for saying this, because like back in the day, like people just wouldn't talk to each other like that. They wouldn't, because they didn't want to get punched in the face. But these days you've got these keyboard warriors, and they just light you up for the sheer shock factor of lighting you up. And it's like, man, you would not be saying that to some of these people in person. But I don't know. I think that treating people with respect is what's most important, regardless whether you agree with them or not. Just treat people with respect. And as long as you do that, I will gladly take your constructive criticism that you have for me. I may not agree with it, and that's okay. Everybody has different opinions, but I still love getting that feedback, because that does help me. With the people that are nice, that aren't mean to me, that take the time to give me like a thought out idea, I really do appreciate that, because it shows me that people care enough that they want to try to help me and help make the channel a little bit better. So I really do appreciate you, those of you that have done that for me. And if there are any other things that you can work on, definitely drop a comment below. But I mean, I think we're making pretty good progress here. One of the things I'm actually digging is that I'm noticing a lot more with the last couple of tutorials that I'm getting a lot less questions. So to me, what I'm getting out of that is I'm explaining these a little bit better. The format is a little bit more organized. I'm not nearly getting as confused people as I was previously. So that is freaking awesome. And I've seen the builds that you guys have been posting. Some of these ships that you guys are making are absolutely incredible. But look, here's the thing too. You don't even have to just post starships. You can post anything pop culture nerd related in general. So if there's a build that you want to share with us in the Discord, be sure to do it. Anyway, I've shot through this 22-minute episode, and I think I've stretched it out past 22 minutes, and I can sit here and talk all day about building, so I think we're going to stop it right here. But anyway, I just want to thank you guys again for tuning in today's episode, and if you did enjoy this content, if you can help me out, hit that like and subscribe button, and helping me in supporting the channel. Drop a comment below. Watch my videos, please. All these things help my channel out, and if that's you're wanting to help me out, if you can just take the time to do that, I would be forever grateful. If you do have any questions, be sure to drop a comment, or if you're just dropping by to say hey, I love hearing from everybody. But that's definitely going to do it for me today. I just want to thank everybody again, and I hope you have a happy and safe weekend. And of course, what did you make in Minecraft today? Post your photos in the Discord so the community can see them.